Hello there, future tubers. How are you guys doing? Welcome back to Let's Play Xenonauts X Division, where Blue doesn't prepare for an hour before each mission. We prepared a little bit, but I tried to save some time here. B team is going against the Sebillian Battlecruiser, and they're geared up pretty well, but they missed a gun. Just to give you some backstory, if you remember a couple episodes back, there was an episode where I couldn't find a pulse minigun that was on the ground because it got destroyed, apparently. We don't have it. So we're bringing a backup Mark 1 minigun, antimatter minigun, and we are queuing up a replacement. And back on A team, I forgot to queue up my rifle with all my antimatter. So we'll build a 5th rifle and continue upgrading. It is unfortunate that we lost that minigun. That's like almost 50 energy cores just down the drain. But we've got quite a few backup, and Sonic Tech kind of sucks anyway, so I just build pulse miniguns for everybody. With that said, let's get to work. We've got just a medium, I know it says large, but at this point in the game, it's a medium-sized mission. You know, 22 total aliens, only 2 kills per person, right? That's only a medium on the 10 of us. It's kind of weird that large UFOs are now our middle size. I don't even really do the smaller ones anymore because you don't get enough resources. So, if we're really lucky, and I'm hoping we get a little bit of luck here, there will be a Sebillian weapon sergeant. If you have forgotten, Sebillian weapon sergeants are pink Sebillians with black shoulder pads, a shirt, and pants. So that's what we're looking for. There could also be a doctor. They are pink and completely naked. So I'd like to capture the professor and the weapon sergeant. The weapon sergeant is the most important, though. We're getting some pretty metal Final Fantasy 1 here today. Oh, and some of these guys are overburdened, I believe. Just let's zip through this kind of quick. I don't want to spend so long anymore. I feel like I don't want the campaign to lag out. So I think I over prepare a little bit. You know, if I was playing on my own time without recording it, or maybe not live streaming at all, you could play slower and smarter. But the missions are getting really long, and like this campaign, I don't want it to drag on and get boring for me. Hopefully you guys are still enjoying it, but there's a point at which things start to slow down too much. And that's kind of one of the downsides of having large teams and large UFOs all the time. It's not too difficult to get bogged down on busy work for half a mission. And think about all the stuff I bring on missions, drop on the ground, and we almost never use it. It's good prep. It's better than not being prepped. And in a pinch, you'll be happy to have it. But most of the time, it's just prep work for no value. So, because of that, I trying not to do it as much. You know, only on really hard missions. If we're doing like a terror mission or just a difficult massive or a base, I'll do all the extra prep. But for normal missions, like this should be a normal mission, I will try, although I still want to play smartly, I will try not to waste time preparing more than necessary, if that makes sense. So it looks like a corner filled with rooms, not the nicest corner, and then on the other side, a nice little wall. Not a lot of civilians. Of course, there are Reapers, so they can multiply, and you've always got to be a little bit extra cautious with Reapers around. Not as bad as, I would say not as bad as Wraiths, but still got to be careful. There is that just a regular, I think that's just a regular Sebillian tier 4 soldier. I think. You may notice Duke doesn't even have a gun anymore, primarily because I decided SMGs sucked, and I just sort of switched to axes. Now, it's probably good to remember that Sebillians they do get... They still have fire weapons, you know. And tier 4 fire weapons will still tear through my wolf armor guys pretty fast. It's not as bad as the old days when we had 0 fire armor, but still don't underestimate the power of fire. What did we find? Ah, who is that? That's a... I believe that's an engineer. It counts as a shirt. I'm not 100%, but I think that's what that is. We could always kill him and check. And reload if he's secretly a doctor. That sounds kind of like save scumming. It is. But Sebillians are just so hard to ID. Nope, that was a doctor. I still can't actually figure out what they look like. My bad. I had a bit of a niggling suspicion, so I put a quick save down, and you can get mad at me all you want, but hey, I thought he was legitimately an engineer. Pink plus a shirt. It looked sort of like a shirt, but from the angle he's looking at, he's facing, that still is considered naked, so okay. You got me. 1 Ankylo point for everybody. I didn't really bring a lot of grenades, did I? Interesting. Now, if the farmers kill him, now what are we going to do about that? He's in an annoying spot. Lots of farmers around. I would have to destroy a lot of cover to have a shot from where we start. On the plus side, these guys don't get shields or anything. Sure. Well, that didn't do what I thought it would do. Just threw a grenade on the building, it did nothing. Oh, walls and buildings, my old nemesis. Still up to your old tricks, are ya? Okay. Let's try this again. Okay. We still didn't destroy the wall at all. Okay, cool. Thanks, game. This is a lot of work for not a lot of success. I hate it when this happens. It's like all my plans just fall apart. Just reload. Nah, I'm not going to save scum the grenades. I'm only allowed to save scum specific things. Hey, look, we can finally see him. Now that I've wasted all my turns. I forgot we could just use antimatter miniguns. They're pretty good. Well, there's some stun damage. Alright, Thornum, how about you? You just finish him off easy? Easy! I almost forget that Sebillians are actually quite weak to shock rifles and electron rifles. They don't have a lot of energy defense, so this pierces through them pretty quick. And also no stupid shields. Okay, good. That didn't deal with the dude back there. The dude. Just throw a smoke grenade on this side. We're not going to be able to move up this way right now. And I don't really know. There could be a lot of stuff still in these buildings anyway. Well, the good news is the doctor looks to be captured. As like I was trying to rush because I was worried the farmers would just kill him. You know, if the farmers have like pulse weapons, which they could definitely have, or something like that, they could probably kill him in just a couple shots. So a little bit of aggressive diplomacy there, you know, assertive diplomacy. All right, let's see what goes over. Let's see what happens. What's OP as Azurus? Azurus? Alright, we got ourselves Reaper Zeta, I think. Where did we learn to negotiate? Well, we learned to negotiate at the School of Hard Knocks. Well, antimatter. Doom guy. Oh, the local forces. Yeah. Yeah, they tend to have shotguns, right? And shotguns or pistols work awfully good at close range because they just suicide themselves into the enemies. That worked. You did some good damage. These guys are really tanky, so... Alright, Thorinum. Let's kill this before it gets too close. Please. 95%. You still managed to miss one, but... it's XCOM for you. Now, there's Sebillian over there. It's going to take a little bit of time to drive through the wheat. We could check on him. I should definitely do some more scouting here. Because I didn't hear any shooting, you know, this is not 100% confirmed, but this area seems unlikely to have any aliens in it. Just intentional spread. You're just mad at that farm. Alright, so we can clear this corner out next turn, hopefully. I think if there had been any... Oh, well. I didn't expect the UFO to be here, but still... Okay, so Herodins can fly at us over this hedge. Most things will be coming up either through this or assuming a hole over here. But at least there's a wall here, so that's, you know, good for Kleber. We should definitely do a little bit more checking the corner, though, just in case. No wraiths, so that's one less thing to worry about. Hello there, Duggar. If that's your real name. How goes Phase 4? Well, sonic weapons are kind of a letdown so far, but we're doing okay. We just got the Sizen Weapon Sergeant, or whatever he is for Phase 4, and that's unlocking better grenades and explosives and all that, and we got lots of sonic weapons, or sonic technology, they just, they don't look too good. Yeah. So that's going to be where a lot of Reapers come from, right there. What I'm going to do is a little risky. Take a little scout over this wall. But also very good to know. I don't think the pulse minigun would even kill this, actually, to be honest. Yeah, alright. Okay, just those two. It's very likely the Reaper will be coming towards Duke Nukem next turn. So clearly we want to back it on up. It might go for the tank, which is fine. But we don't want anyone in his range of attack. Those things just do way too much damage. Just putting some people in the back, you know. There was only 3 Reapers on the UFO in the first place. That doesn't mean there's only 3 now. You guys know the drill. We'll keep this wall up for now. Evan's actually... Nah, I changed my mind. Put Evan a little bit further back. Might have been in range of the Reaper. Don't worry, guys. We've got this Gauss minigun. The only weapon we will need to defeat all the Reapers. Aaron's gonna take him out. Okay, that's definitely a fire weapon. Good for the tank. And yeah, 56 damage. I think the idea with Reapers is they do around 50 to 60 damage per hit, but they basically just ignore all your armor now, at this point in the game. So the tank has, I think, somewhere around 150 kinetic armor. It just chewed right through it like nothing. But it's not going to turn it into a Reaper, and 50 is not enough. So, 816 damage. That'll do. Thank you, Fusion AP Cannon. So now there's a Sebillian elite hiding behind here with a flamethrower, you know, alien flamethrower. Let's see. It's a decent time to open up. Let's get some eyes on him so we know where to open up the grass or the hedge. There he is. Now, I don't know if this is actually going to work the way I'm thinking. It'll work in my head, but let's see here. Sure. So you see, pulse snipers are pretty good. I know it said 93%. Can't trust anything. Must be going through some smoke. Let's take 2 95s. Perfect. It's going to be pretty hard to convince me that I don't want pulse snipers and I should try sonic snipers. I know if we'd hit him with a sonic sniper, it would have probably one-shot him. But we had to destroy cover and it would have taken more than one shot to hit him probably, so... I don't know. I don't know. Congratulations. Duggar has evolved into a red Ankylo purely from lurking. Not even required to play the minigames to evolve. I think what am I trying to say? The script that does the announcements, it only announces if you have posted in chat in the last so long time period. So there are probably other people ranking up in the background that we just don't know about because they never post in chat. It's a secret. Alright, there's not too much further to go on that side. Let's just do a little bit of air scout. Want to stay about over 50. Okay, we got to the corner. This whole area is pretty empty. Not quite enough to get home, but this is still a pretty good hidey hole back here anyway. Is it really lurking if you post some eyeballs in chat? I still consider that lurking. You can lurk and just chat. There's Pro-Tank. See, look at all these people lurking around. I mean, that's got to be the right emoji for that. Now, I gotta keep my eyes open for Harridan. Over here, they could snipe us anytime. But this should oh, don't go that way then. This clears out pretty much this whole area. So other than flying across, you know, everything's going to come through here. And the tank will be able to keep an eye on that. These two entrances pretty easily. Get some more eyes on the entrance. We can, well, let's just hold off. We've killed, what, 2 Reapers so far? Yeah, 2 dead Reapers. There's likely to be 1 more, unless it died in the crash. And, you know, I'd hate to have it, like, right here, move up, and then get zombied. You can try to kill them on reaction fire, but they got a lot of HP. And they're really fast. They seem to not trigger reaction fire easily. I don't know how that works, to be honest. Alright, take a little look. What a nice, relaxing mission. This is probably going to be close enough to the UFO to activate some bad guys. Betcha. I knew there was another Reaper. How's the quarantine going for Blue? Oh, fine. Yeah, I'm not, you know, I don't know if it's Canada. I don't know how it's affecting everybody else. I think it sometimes just depends on where you live, how your neighbors are acting and everything. But around here, it's been, you know, scary, but we've been managing, you know. Okay, there's a tank. That's our first tier 4 tank, I think. I'd say we're doing okay. It's not like it's fun or, you know, enjoyable by any means, but, you know, for the most part, I'm kind of an introvert anyway. I like to hang around by myself, and, you know, I'm not I wouldn't call myself a prepper or anything at all, but I am an adult, and not to call other people not adults, but, like, the wife and I have, just naturally, we order kind of large quantities of supplies. We shop in bulk, I guess you would say. So when the shortages started hitting for various things, like, you know, the toilet paper memes, we already had a pretty big stash, so unless we can't buy any for literally months, it's not a big deal. We don't live, like, 1 roll per week, or 1 roll at a time and then buy a new one, you know? I mean, I don't want this to continue on. Even if you're getting enough EI or whatever, like, you know, enough money to cover the bills from your government, you know, there's sort of there's an expected cost to all that stuff eventually. Like, I am a little bit concerned long term that things are going to be a little bit wonky next year and the year after that. Hopefully, you know, everyone gets over it and back to normal, right? But you can't just pull billions of dollars out of nowhere without someone paying for it one day. Working overtime. Yeah, some people super busy during the outbreak. But yeah, I mean, it's I have to sympathize or empathize with the people that are actually, you know, struggling, the people that are at risk of dying. You know, it's one thing to say that I'll probably be fine. You know, I'm young and healthy enough that. But that's kind of selfish, right? Like, if you're just like, well, I'm not gonna die probably, and I can stay at home, no big deal. But other people not necessarily in that situation, and, you know, there's going to be casualties, there's going to be people losing their job and potentially losing their house or their car. That's going to suck, you know. All because of some dumb little virus thing, hey? When the aliens do come, obviously, when the aliens get here, they won't need to send UFOs. They just need to send a couple new viruses. That'll take care of humans just fine. I'm sure there's been lots of science fiction books about it, but, you know, really, just the way the COVID-19 has gone, clearly it wouldn't take much for a super virus. Like if you were a high-tech alien species that can travel between planets, you know, you got to have pretty good science, I would assume. I would assume you could genetically engineer a virus that, I mean, we'd probably just all die. You know, I don't think we'd be able to deal with it if it had a higher mortality rate. That's a little dangerous, a little bit too dangerous. Any new mechs? Well, we have a tier 1 mech, the Spirit Wolf. I built I built 3 of them. They are, okay. They're not as good as AP cannons, though. And then we unlocked the Timber Wolf, the Mark II mech. I didn't build it because it was really expensive. It's like 100 alloys. And although, we have enough to build 1 or 2 if we wanted, it just seems really expensive. I've been pretty short on alloys in general. Look at that little punk over there. Does anyone have a nice sniper shot? We might. Oh yeah, just got to move some people out of the way. So yeah, the Mark II mech, I don't know. The weapon style for mechs just isn't as good as, like, the mech is not as tanky or as good at killing things as the tank is. Nah, I don't regret it. It's all just a matter of time and balance, you know? Like, I could do more missions, but I also could have just burned out. Like, if I did 10 more missions in each phase, I might have just stopped playing if it got too boring, you know? So, it'd be nice to have more resources. I think what it really tells me is that if I want to play Xenonauts, or if I want to play X Division again in the future, what I'll probably want to do is mod some files. Make a little sub-mod. I think Runes was talking about it one day. I think he said he modded a couple things to give him more alloys as well already. And I'm like, yeah, that probably would be smart. Like, the mid-game alloy crunch is kind of annoying. I don't like to do 500 ground missions. So do the missions, get the tech, and if you modded the rewards just to be a little bit higher, maybe you wouldn't need to grind out as much resources. You just get a little bit more alloys per mission, and then it's fine. Like, it's no big deal. It would cut out a lot of the grind, I think. Wouldn't want to make it too easy, but it's going to be hard anyway, and getting a few more alloys is not going to change that. Well, that's number 4. Luckily, it didn't attack us. I thought there... Well, you know, Reapers. It said there was 3. Clearly, they found some farmers, and now we're up to 5. Good thing I didn't rush forward. Is it... I still don't think it's really worth trying to even capture them. Now, one thing that was interesting there... Usually they don't take any damage from energy. It appears that the pulse rifle pierces right through the Reaper's armor, which further invalidates Gauss Tech. Gauss Tech is even less useful now. 16 soldiers if you want. More aliens. More rewards. Yeah. That definitely makes sense to me. So there's an alien tank down here. Oh, you know what we should have just done? Blue, you're so dumb. Very nice little snipe. We should just, you know, do the old over the grass thing. And then just alpha strike it in one turn. At least, you know, that's the theory. Tempted to mod nades and rockets? Well, yeah, some of them, What would happen, like, how would it be overpowered if grenades didn't require alien stun grenades or chemical grenades to manufacture your own? Would that really break the balance too bad, or would it be okay, right? Like, that's one of the things I've been curious about too. Like, I get the feeling that the modders wanted to make sure that you had a limited supply of, you know, the green and the pink. But In the vanilla game, you just build them. Like, I'm pretty sure we could just build as many stun grenades as you wanted in the vanilla game. And it was fine. It didn't make it too easy, I don't think. You still need to upgrade your tech each phase to get the new tier. With every single alien throwing grenades. I don't think I would change the aliens' access to grenades. Like, I would still want to keep it at only the Sebillians have the grenades, because it's bad enough with the Sebillians. I mean, like... Oh, he moved a little bit. Well, you know. I would just like to be able to construct my own grenades at will. You know, I could see, like, right now, if it's like one stun grenade turns into 2 XCOM grenades. Right, they throw them so you can't get them. Yeah. That's definitely part of the problem. Maybe instead of... Or what if you could just change the multiplier? If you really wanted to still limit them, instead of having 2 for 1, you could go 4 for 1 or 8 for 1. But I think it would be better just to make them cost money. You know, just make them cost money. That's fine. We don't use money enough. Alien stun grenade, 10,000 per grenade, but you can build as many as you want. Alien chemical grenade, 10,000, but you can build as many as you want. Because blood grenades, we had like, I don't know, like 5 blood grenades in the entire phase 3. It's kind of dumb. Oh, yeah, snipers. It's a Gauss cannon, or not a Gauss cannon, like a rail cannon. Yeah, you could add some time, you could add some money. Just don't use resources that are required to be farmed, you know? Oh, I should have moved out of the smoke and fired. Yeah, this smoke is like really good at reducing your accuracy. Upgrade them. I wonder, that would be an interesting way to mod it. You could make it so that the stun, like the tiers work like a Mark II stun grenade could require a Mark I stun grenade to upgrade. Like the way the Mark II to Mark III rifles work. So it would take more time and would be like, building the Mark IV stun grenades really would take a lot of work, but they're not limited by how many grenades you capture on the field. That might be kind of interesting. I don't know. I don't know if that's the best choice, but I would just like to find a different way to balance them more than anything. Well, I don't remember if these things are weaker to energy or kinetic, to be honest. I know electricity should work. Oops. Oops. Well. Well, well, well. Yeah, there's definitely like the old too good to use syndrome. If they're really rare, then they're basically like elixirs from Final Fantasy, you know? Plus, I don't think in Phase 2 and 3 or 4 that the stun or chemical grenades are all that overpowered. Like, in Phase 1, they were pretty darn overpowered. Like, the chemical resistance in Seisons and Sebillians in the early phase was pretty weak. Weak enough that one chemical grenade killed almost anything. But once they got upgraded chemical defense, like, it wasn't that great. Just throw it on the ground. Just checking for ambushes. I don't want to go here yet. We'll let these guys win their battle. Well, I say that. Why didn't I just shoot this? Well. Okay. I could have made a smarter decision with Doomed Guy. At one point, I had 2 pulse miniguns. Time units. The underwhelming. Look, I don't know what's wrong. If we're talking about rebalancing X Division, I would change Gauss. Something about Gauss needs to get changed. It needs a buff. I don't know exactly how yet, but it needs a buff. Oh, sneaky Harridan snipers. Well, not much I can do about him right now. At least we killed the Sebillian. Too far away for Thorinum. Maybe next turn. Way too far away for Shinga. Yeah, all kinetic weapons. They need something to make them unique. And I don't know what it is. Like, they've got better reaction fire, that's a good start. And they've got cheaper reload costs generally, not counting Sonic. But they need, yeah, they need something. That's for sure. Oh, we'll probably be fine. Please don't kill me, sir. Oh, he's the one with the cool explosive cannon thing. Maybe they both had one of those. They should fire more. Why don't you just do that? Add +1 or +2 to all kinetic burst. If energy can do 3 or 4 per volley, kinetic weapons should be 4, 5, maybe 6 per volley. Just add bullets. It's like a real... We know how to make kinetic rifles right now. We have lots of machine guns. Just add bullets to them. Bam. Balanced. They can still be less accurate, less range, more recoil. In fact, the recoil would be a problem with all the extra shots. But if you can get good accuracy, maybe... I don't know if the game's got a mechanic where your strength reduces recoil or something. But yeah, there should be some way to do that. You know, there's got to be something. The stun damage, I don't know. I don't think that will balance them. On its own, stun damage is good, but... I think all stun damage is going to do is give them a bit of a perk in Phase 1. As soon as you have access to shock or electron weapons, they will always trump any half-damage stun, you know, like that's... I mean, maybe higher difficulties again. I don't know about higher difficulties, but... You know, a minigun is still strong. It's not like that's a bad weapon exactly. It's just, compared to Pulse, you either have to nerf energy or give kinetic something. Still alive. Interesting. Yeah, I think I would give, just to differentiate them. We don't need every rifle to have the same number of shots. Clearly. Look at the Pulse rifle. It's got 4 shots and cheap bursts. Give kinetic... I actually think that wouldn't be that hard either. Just like the baseline, they could start at 4 bullets per burst and 5, you know, Mark III could be up to 5 or so. It actually, the more I think about it, the more I think that's probably the way to go. I think it makes sense in lore, because the energy weapons are new, you know, cutting-edge technology. And although we're making similar rifles and miniguns as we already know about with kinetic weapons, the fact that they fire less per second and they're... You know, everyone loves laser energy weapons, but, you know, we're just not as good at making them. So they're not as good in certain areas. Like, what's the main thing that we have with machine guns? Rapid fire, really. I mean, that's the whole point. It's not that one soldier, like, I'm thinking like in real life, not that I'm an expert, but wars are not just accurate 99% shots, right? Nobody in a war is doing 95% accuracy. It's like tons and tons of ammo at low percent, right? Everyone's in cover, everyone's just pulling the trigger everywhere. It feels like that's what humans are good at. So kinetic weapons, yeah, I want to see tons of bullets flying around. Maybe not very accurate. Some of them will do different amounts of damage. Yeah, the heavy weapons are terrible. But again, if the heavy weapons shot 12 instead of 6, wouldn't that make a pretty big difference? It still might not be... Well, it still wouldn't be as good as a minigun. But I think the problem is 6. Like, the problem is that it only fires 6 shots. Low accuracy and 6 shots is like, you're never hitting anything. Heck, maybe 20. Go with, like, I don't know, maybe there's some engine limitations here or something, but make it more like a baby minigun, you know? If miniguns are like 50, 60, 80, 100, 20 shots, that's fine. We'll do Blue's X Division submod, where I make everything overpowered and the game gets way easier. You can certainly test it out. It probably wouldn't be too hard. At least in theory, it's just XML changing variables in XML files, right? As long as you know where to look, it's probably not too bad. I did that back with the old Long War mod. Ah, sneaky, sneaky. Okay, well, we got a little bit too close, but let's send some backup over that direction quick. I'd rather have the tank nearby just in case. Finding the info, yeah. It's probably not well documented, as if you weren't on the mod team in the first place, figuring out how the modders did everything, that becomes half the battle. It's pretty standard for programming in general. Unless people left some kind of documentation, you know. It's wild, wild west. I know it's only one guy over there, but I want to send a little bit more backup. He could have a friend. And everyone else can start moving towards the front of the UFO. Incorrect spawns? Yeah. One thing that was confusing me even is like the XML file that controls the experience gain. I was looking for that. I wanted to know how the stats grew per combat, because apparently in vanilla there was a hard cap of +2 for most stats per mission. Like in the vanilla Xenonauts, I believe the file is like you can get up to 2 for all your stats based on, you know, doing actions. I'm pretty sure. But clearly X Division changed that. So like, okay, I will look in the X Division main folder, because that makes sense. Go to the X Division mod folder, you know, mod/X Division. There's a file that lists different numbers for your stat growths. But it says like 5 is the cap, or some number. I forget the exact number, but if the vanilla game is 2 and X Division says 5, I'm like, okay, that's fair. But then we see +10. And I'm like, well, clearly that's not the mod that's actually that's not the file that's being used. So there's another mod, I forget which one it is, but it's like a tweaks and balances mod. And it takes priority over the basic X Division mod. Like it's further down in the load chain, I guess, on the mod loader. So, okay, it's the one that sets the max stat increase at like 10 or 20. But how do you know which file, like, how do you know, right? Like, you just have to guess which file is the right one. Because if you change the wrong one, or if you don't understand mod load order, then you're just wasting your time, kind of. Anyway, I still like these axes. I would probably mod the axes a little bit, too. What would I do to the axes? How would I balance melee weapons? I know even the loading screen says melee weapons are a bit of a work in progress. They're real good. Maybe too good. They're meant to be expensive. Assuming you can't fix the duplication glitch. Like, I'm gonna assume, for the sake of argument, that you can't fix this bug. This is like an engine bug that gives you the duplicate. Let's just say that you can't fix that. Then you've got to assume that once you've got one melee weapon, you've got a near infinite supply. It's using an exploit, but I mean, come on, who's gonna not, right? Like, maybe I would look at melee weapons as a... I wonder if you could do them like a one-time upgrade the way they do the shields, so that you spend a lot of resources to get the tech and the item, and then they're just infinite at that point. I think that might be a better way to balance it because of the glitch. Because otherwise, some people will only have one axe and just ignore the spawns, and some people will have infinite. Because I think, honestly, I think the cost in chitin is too high if you have to build them all yourself. I think 16 chitin and 2 fangs, I mean, the axes are really good, but I still think that's a little bit too expensive if you need to build, well, a few of them for your teams. Like, that's a lot of work capturing the same xenomorphs over and over again. So instead, if you make Axe Mark IV a one-time project that costs, I don't know what it would be fair, but let's say, you know, 100 chitin or something. That might be a little bit too much, but you'd have to figure that out. And then it was just done. Then you just had infinite axes. It doesn't really matter if they duplicate, because it doesn't matter, they're free. It doesn't matter, because, like, one of the big problems is, if you drop it on the ground and forget to pick it up, it's gone forever. So you're out 2 fangs and 16 chitin, or whatever it costs to build them. Or, there's the other bug where if you have it equipped, like, I don't want to do it because I'll lose it, but if, this is just a warning for future tubers. If you have a modded weapon, oh, well, we'll do it next turn. If you have a modded weapon in your main hand that is technically a two-handed weapon. So, let's put a quick save down. I will show this off. If you put a melee weapon in your main hand, right? Melee weapon. It's two-handed. It doesn't update instantly. That's probably... The bug is probably related to the interface not updating them automatically. You can unequip the second... Like, this shouldn't be selectable. But what happens if you put something in your second hand? Oh, we're dual wielding, right? Let's just do it with a, you know, a baton. Somebody might think, cool, we can dual wield. What happens? Well, whatever's here gets deleted. So... that shock baton, which is 6 alloys, is gone forever. Or, if you did it with, you know, the axe, same thing would happen. Well, you know, you can't put a shield in your main hand, but if you put, I think even something like this. Let's see here. Yeah, then it gets deleted. The axe and the medkit in that scenario. So it's actually pretty easy to permanently delete your things, or infinitely duplicate them. So, either way, you're either spending a lot of resources to replace things that get glitched out, or you're cheating in more. And I think, yeah, it's probably a mechanic problem. Like, it's probably just part of how Xenonauts is programmed. It wasn't really meant for dual wielding. Not to rant too much about a single thing, but yeah, I think that would be... Assuming it's not too difficult to add those one-time projects the way we did with these shield upgrades, that seems to me the easiest way to fix something like that. And I guess, you know, a lot of players are kind of familiar with how XCOM, like, enemy with it, well, let's say XCOM 2 specifically. Because in XCOM 2, right, everything is a one-time upgrade. You don't build weapons individually. You just unlock a new tech of weaponry, and everyone gets them. You know, once you've got plasma rifles, everyone has plasma rifles. There's no manufacturing them individually. I didn't really like that, so I wouldn't want to change basic gun manufacturing. But, especially given the exploit, and, you know, axes, like, I think that's probably fair. You could use Mark 1 knives. Yeah, exactly. I might still bring knives on my shield guys because it's not a waste of resources, you know? I think I'd probably, assuming you could afford the bulk upgrade, it would probably increase your use. You wouldn't be worried about dropping them or duplicating them. Didn't I come through here? What happened? Something changed about the pathing through this. The tank has been confused. Oh! Hiding in the smoke. Brigadier General Evan Crow blocking my tank's pathing. That makes sense. Still a 50-minute episode. Hilarious. Well, I probably spent more time messing around on this mission than I needed to be honest. I'm still hoping... Don't forget that there's a weapon sergeant. So I don't really want to just massively blow up this wall. Or this door. I'd like to clear out some cover here. Not quite. We'll get it. So we should bring the tank up. Sebillians are still pretty scary with their fire flamethrower stuff. We're all grouped up perfectly for a grenade. I was just thinking that the aliens could cheat a grenade over at us. There it is. Luckily it was not an explosive grenade, because that would have been pretty bad. I haven't seen them use the explosive grenades as much as they used to. Back in the last version, 1.00.10, I feel like they threw explosive grenades all the time. And since we went to 0.11, I don't know if someone changed the AI or something, but I haven't seen it happen very often. They just throw these smoke grenades, which are more annoying than really deadly. Of course, they throw them over the friggin' UFO, but... So yeah, that was a mistake. Also, hello there, Luke. So what I'm thinking is, if I antimatter the door, you do sometimes hit the aliens behind it, you know. Accidentally. And Blood Angel, watching some Goldbox stuff. Cool. I definitely enjoyed the recording of those series. I'll probably... Oh, I don't know when, but I definitely want to get to the next series. I gotta get the Kryn Goldbox series going. They throw the grenades more, and the explosive ones in Phase 1 more. Maybe that's what I was remembering, more so than 0.10 versus 0.11. I don't know. Mostly I just need to keep the Wolf Armor guys out of here. Guardian Armor, or, well, Warder here, but Guardian Armor is pretty good explosive defense, and Ripper Armor is pretty amazing explosive defense. Incendiary protection. It's like 85 or 90. It's pretty high. And it doesn't shred or anything, so... I mean, I don't actually know how damaging their grenades are. If their grenades are like our grenades, 200 damage, then they'll one-shot anybody, because I'm pretty sure they've got like 85 incendiary protection. Suddenly you're just tired. I get that sometimes too. Just a wave of bam, go to sleep. I had it last live stream, actually. I don't want to kill the stuff behind the door. Sebillians regenerate, so as long as the damage is small, every turn they should regain most of their HP. That's why I don't want to go all out here. And I want my tank to be up here. Yeah, that's... Once you're home and comfortable, your body definitely does that too. It's like, okay, we made it through the day, good job, but now we're done. It's been a long time since we brought a Mark 1 minigun. Interesting. I'm just gambling that there might be a weapon sergeant, you know? It would be really nice for our technology. There was no other civilians on this UFO, on this wave of UFOs, so this is the best chance at getting any real big upgrades right now. Not that we're in a huge rush, but... Alright, see you later, Ezra's. It's interesting how sturdy these doors are, once again. There we go. Antimatter still cuts through. So, was there anything behind the door? Yeah. Not the ones I'm looking for, though. So, the pink one there definitely has a shirt. That makes him a head engineer. No pants. So, we saw the professor. This can't be a professor. This has to be another head engineer. That looks more like a Terror Harridan, actually, than a normal Harridan. Or, yeah, it does, doesn't it? Interesting. What if we, What if, against all odds, we just fire a rocket in there? Now, it's pretty hard to capture Harridans. That's for sure. What else do we do? Draw some reaction fire. But that was a pretty good rocket so far. Okay, seriously. Little flame pistol. Get out of here. Apparently the pink smoke is pretty hard to shoot through. I just don't have a whole lot of people in good spots to really, Well, now we know what weapon he's got, so he's actually not even that difficult. The problem is I would like to stun him this turn, because if he flies away, we don't actually get the capture. Not gonna happen. Yeah, as much as I was expecting, perhaps, to do a capture, I didn't really prepare for it all the way. Well, we captured another one of those. It might fall asleep in the gas, but it is pretty strong. Like, it is pretty high chemical protection. We could try to just damage him a little bit, in theory. This stupid thing in the way here. Yeah, I don't know. I think he could take one hit without dying easily, but if we hit him 4 times, he's dead. Well, alright. Good try throwing him. Yeah, I think he's too far away for grenades. I guess we just relax and see what he does. Unfortunately, we're not going to catch him unless he falls asleep. Uh-oh. That was a bigger boom. So there's the extreme grenades. They still have them. We didn't take as much damage because we're in a top-of-the-line power armor. But, yeah. You don't want to get hit by that if you're wearing wolf armor, because it's... I don't know exactly how much damage they do, but they could probably one-shot you, I think. Or at least very nearly. Doomed guy, you're just not very good at this game. Missing all your shots like that. Now, did anyone see, like, did the Sebillian just fall? Like, those rockets are so good, man. Okay, extreme stun rockets are exceptionally powerful. PS1 emulator? Well, you know, on a computer it's easy enough. Alright, Thornham, you got this guy, right? Easy peasy. Okay, let's regroup for a turn. Doomed guy, at the very least, does have a med kit. And that stopped the bleeding. Good, good. That one rocket was amazing. We still have that sword. Maybe I should dupe some swords before the end of the mission. Just, you know. Just so we use them a little bit. I know it's technically an exploit. Obviously, we were just talking about it. But, if we pick up a couple more for other people... I don't know, it's fine. I don't think it's that big a deal. It's not like you can't use one sword, drop it, and give it to somebody else anyway. In the grand scheme of things, it's actually not that difficult. So now Thornham has a neat sword. Some people already have cool axes, so it's no big deal. This is more just, you know, micromanagement. Well, sorry about that, Luke. That sucks. I've heard some people have been having a little bit more trouble with internet problems lately, too. Just perhaps a little bit more usage on the networks because of the whole COVID thing. It does make some sense. Everyone's at home watching Netflix and Twitch and so on. I think we caught that guy. Those are some pretty darn effective rockets. I'm gonna move that tank up first. There should be somebody behind this door. Like right there. The game's so good. I think that guy is dead though. No luck. Alright, I'm gonna start moving people up. You could be safer and wait a little longer, but you know, it's already been like an hour-long episode, so sure, it's fine. I'm sure it's fine. Don't forget, we're hoping to find a weapon sergeant. Don't forget. I'm not even telling you guys, I'm just telling myself. Grenades, dangerous. Killing weapon sergeant, annoying. Let's leave these here. Alright. A little bit of exploiting our cool blue swords. I just haven't used one. Maybe for the bridge we'll go melee mode. The safest way to clear the bridge. Just charge right on in. So, there could easily be more Androns behind these side doors. So I'll move my shield guys up first and try to get some power armor for support. You know, it's been a long time since we had to do one of these cruiser-style breaches. I don't do them very often, so maybe I forget how to move into them safely. Lots of good reaction fire, you know. Alright, let's do this thing. I will check that body once the smoke clears. Because if it's a tier 4, that'll be a... If it's a Harridan Terror Elite, that'll be a nice grab. Interesting. I don't think we'll actually be able to throw it. I just want to check. Yeah, 85. Let's check the other side. That's a dead Sebillian, or dead Harridan on the inside. It's good. Okay, I wish I knew what kind of weapon it has, but I don't. Let's see. Power armor, you're up. Oh yeah, don't forget the Gauss minigun. Best weapon. Oh, you know, watch out for smoke. The pink smoke. Melee weapons is too anime for you? Nah, in real combat, we might not use swords in modern combat. But people definitely use axes and shovels and bayonets. That stuff still works real well. Combat knives are definitely a thing. Weapons, they jam, they get wet, they need to get reloaded. You know, axes and knives, they generally just work. Reliability, and still really dangerous in close quarters. Like... If I remember correctly, at close range, a skilled knife, you know, melee fighter, someone with a combat knife, like an actual, not just a butter knife, but like a real weapon, they'll kill you quicker with a knife than they can kill you with a gun. Even though guns sound awesome, you know. Big, explosive bangs. Don't underestimate actual physical melee weapons. If you had the choice between a plasma gun or a sword... Well, okay, my point is that it's not a choice between one or the other. You can bring them both. Knives, I'm not saying I'd bring a sword necessarily, but you could definitely bring a backup knife. And if the thing you need to kill is right around this corner, stabbing them with the knife actually might be easier than trying to get the gun to work in a small corridor. I think next turn we'll minigun that jerk. Probably blow up the engines. Well, we got pretty good armor. Pfft. The good thing is gun sucks, whatever this guy has. There he is. I mean, obviously I use my guns most of the time, but don't underestimate swords and stuff. So that was a head engineer. I guessed that one correctly. And the guy we captured was just a normal Harridan elite. I guess we need to get used to the Harridan elites, the tier 4 ones, looking black like they're terror soldiers. Yeah, they all look like that now. Okay, so I'm not sure exactly how the terror versions will look different, but we'll figure that out, once we find some. Not like it hurts to capture a couple extra, but... Okay, so I'm always a little bit hesitant moving in on these Sebillian ships, because they do love to come down and kill somebody. We could put sword guy... Let's do it. Totally doing it. This is happening. So... One of the cool things about swords is they have a 5.0 reaction modifier. The highest reaction modifier I've ever seen. So... Thornum's gonna be so mad. Unsubscribed. Sorry, just inventory menuing, you know the drill. You do have your backup. I just want to see, I've never really tried this. I hear melee weapons are pretty good at reactions, but it's always been just too risky for me to really try it. I guess they've got pretty good axes, but it's really the swords that have the masterful reactions. Axes have a 1 or 2 reaction. The swords are a 5. I'm putting a quick save here because this is an untested experimental strategy. It takes 11 time units to swing your sword. So what I'll do is, like, to make sure we're around the teleporter with lots of time units, we're gonna get closer to the door, or closer to the teleporter without hopefully triggering an attack. That wasn't really what I wanted you to do there. Sorry, Shinga. How about you go this way? Keep moving the wrong people. Blue, are you drunk? Are you okay, Blue? There we go. I knew someone over here had a sword. Alright, that should be good enough. I mean, we're going all axe, if I want to go all axe. All sword, all axe. Fighters and barbs are boring? Nah, I don't agree. up to you to make your Dungeons and Dragons characters awesome. There's cool fighters and cool barbarians. Go check out Baldur's Gate. Okay, Doomguy doesn't actually have a melee weapon. Boy, I sure hope this works. They'll probably won't even come down after all this prep work. You know. Nothing. It's not over yet. It's not over yet. We must make it happen. We've come too far. I want to see the melee reactions. For science. I knew I forgot somebody. Of course I forgot the guy with the Gauss minigun. Alright. Come on, sword wall. What if we send somebody up? Just make a little bit of noise out here, and then come back down. Maybe the aliens can hear us. Apparently the Sebillians are supposed to be able to smell you. This is the best strategy. Isn't this the best strategy? Kill him! Where's my swords? Sad Ankylo. So, it didn't work, guys. It didn't work. They survived anyway. 2 grenades. Stupid game. Okay, so the lesson for the future tubers and the live tubers is, even though your swords have a 5 reaction modifier and your soldiers have 185 reaction stat, reflex stat, doesn't work. Doesn't work at all. Nice idea, garbage idea. Nice idea, garbage in practice. Alright. It's too bad, really. Oops, I didn't. We're making swords like crazy. Wait, what are you doing? Just stand there. You dummies. Well, we do have Thorinum and Thorin. We have Thorinum and Thoranium. We've learned the guns are better. Well, they're better on reactions, at least. I can't argue about the reactions part. Swords are still really good at, you know, ignoring enemy shields and some other things, I'm sure. Alright, well, we'll prep our attack here. And I'll just come down and blow everyone up anyway. We'll give him one more turn to get sorted on the teleporters. One more chance, alien scum. I was really hoping they'd come down the teleporter and we just slice them up. Like, you know, anime style, right? But, alright. Well, let's go to standard breach mode. Because that's all we got now. We're gonna go open from the corners with shields. We could throw shock charges in there. They're definitely safer to do it like that. No doubt about it. But that's weakling talk. We've got this amazing Gauss minigun. Needs to get a kill. You like mining games? Nah, resource management games are fun. Alright, let's do this thing. Okay, let's do this thing. So that's an operator, but that's a low-ranking operator. Whatever a cruiser operator is considered, which is probably like phase 2. We've got a Harridan, office or elite guard, probably just regular elites for their phase. We can open this door and suppress, at least in theory. I mean, they're pretty good. Pulse miniguns, right? I've heard tales that they are strong weapons. Good thing it was a Mark II. Well, still, how did that do no damage? I wonder... You know, there's some other things we could science up here. I don't know why that hit the wall. I was behind. I know the covers out here could have blocked some shots, but it shouldn't have been blocked. Right? Like, see how it's blocked? Not blocked. Not blocked over here. Interesting. So much science to do. Sure. Standard. Well, I think we've won. We haven't used the sword at all. Slice him up. It's still pretty good. Look at the timing on the music. We are victorious. You have saved the day. The aliens are dead. And we got some stuff. We did capture a Dr. Sebillian. We did not capture a weapon sergeant because he didn't seem to exist. You would have seen him here on the list. And we got a new tank. So hey, maybe that'll lead to something. All right, well, one thing more to interrogate, which is good because we were running pretty low on things to research. Okay, well, future tubers, we're gonna end the episode here. I guess we've got a couple generic missions if I do them. I geared up for them, but now I almost feel like skipping them again. We'll see. Future tubers, though, thanks for watching. Hope you've enjoyed, and I'll see you next time. If there is a next time.